let's unbox a rather large box together. I have picked out a bag. This is from the Pre-Loved Market and it just arrived today. I will say I have never seen a bigger Ozpost box, but here we go. I'm gonna try do this as elegantly as possible. I mean, elegant's a nice word. So inside is another box. This is from Lucy's Luxury Consignment, and I will talk through the shopping process a little bit as well. But first, I'm gonna get rid of all of this tissue paper. She is very nicely bubble wrapped. Now, at the time that I purchased this, they did not have a website. So you pretty much had to buy off their Instagram stories or their Instagram posts. And when I came across them, they were in the process of putting a website together but hadn't quite gotten there. Now, I saw this bag in passing on their stories and I didn't really take much note of it. However, after the first time I saw it, for a couple of days, all I could think about was this bag, because I've seen her in person before, like in Hermes stores, not in the colorway that I bought it in, something definitely more neutral. And then my mother-in-law has one in purple. So I saw it as well while she was over here. It was like the primary bag that she was using because it actually fits a good chunk of stuff in it. It's decently sized as well. After I found myself constantly gravitating to this bag, I kind of decided to have a look and see if there were any other consignment stores that had this bag, and none of the colors spoke to me the way this did. I found some ones that were like in like more blue hues, or like there was one that was like a little bit pinky. I will also say that some of the bags were like missing bits and pieces. There were a lot of them that were listed with no dust bags. The box, I'm not so like, it's not a be it end all because I don't even keep a lot of my boxes myself, so it's kind of hard to expect everyone to do that. But at a bare minimum, I wanted a dust bag and I wanted to have the padlock and key set, which there's quite a few listings out there online that don't actually have them. So I'm going to talk you guys through, I will insert a screenshot of what I first like saw when this bag was listed, but I'm going to talk through the information that they provided. This bag is listed as the 2023 Herbag Zip PM size in 31. They rated the condition an 8.5 out of 10, and the purchase includes the box, dust bag, receipt, padlock, and keys. I'll read some of the DMs from our back and forwards, but basically when I kind of made the decision that, like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead with it, I sent through a message and said, hey, is the yellow Herbag still available? They replied very quickly and sent me some information about the item, and I asked if they had any photos or videos of the inside of the bag, because everything I've received up to that point was the outside of the bag. And they did say that unfortunately they couldn't access the content of, I'm assuming, the video content or photo content they had, but they would be able to send it through to me on the Monday. I believe I made the inquiry on like a Saturday as well, so it was a weekend. And then we talked through the process of payment, shipping, and all of that, at which point they did notify me that the 8.5 out of 10 rating was given because the bottom of the bag is a little bit, there's some marks there, but I know the Herbag and it doesn't have feet. So I was kind of not surprised by that when she was like, oh, this is why it had the 8.5 rating. However, I never got photos of the underside of the bag, so I guess we're gonna find out. I technically bought this bag sight unseen, which I was talking to a friend and she was like, oh, I feel like that's really risky. It is worth mentioning that my Hermes tote and my Burberry both were purchased sight unseen off Farfetch, and that basically just means I didn't actually see it in real life. I also don't know if I'm going to keep this box because it's actually really big. and we have the dust bag with the bag in it. For anyone who is interested, the Herbag is one of a few bags that you can actually purchase directly off the Hermes website, at least the Australian website. It is not a quota bag, but for some reason I kept gravitating back towards this color. I did a little bit of looking on the Hermes website, I did a little bit of looking through other consignment stores in Sydney, and I always came back to this. And I think it's because while I do have a lot of clothes, I have enough clothes that create a neutral wardrobe. So for example, I'm very much in like black and black today, but I've got enough neutral clothes that I feel like I could use this bag and it wouldn't clash with my clothes. Oh my god. I actually love it. She's very much like lemon. I am going to, oh my god, you know what? It barely even looks scuffed on the bottom, which is crazy because this is what got the minus 1.5 in like the 10 out of 10 rating for condition. And I feel like this is a good size. This is a, she's nice as a size. I feel like, I mean, smaller would be okay, but I don't know if I would go any bigger. Let's take a look at the inside of her. I will say whoever owned this, I don't think has used it at all, because if you can see, there's a little bit of padding under here that I'm pretty sure you get with the bag when it is brand spanking new. So it's kind of like that. We've got the little pouch, some more tissue paper. I might actually keep this just to give it a little bit of shape. It looks like we've got the padlock in here. I'm just going to empty the contents of the bag out first, and this looks like a receipt. This might be detachable. Let me see. That's a negative. This is not detachable in any way, at least from what I can see. So you're kind of stuck with this inside the bag, whether you like it or not. We've got the pouch on the back here that is zip secured. So I feel like you could get like a diary or like a smaller, like maybe a B5 book or something like that. I'm actually going to give you guys some measurements. I don't have a normal ruler at home. I don't know why, but like this tiny 15 centimeter one, I don't think it's going to work for this. So this back pouch is 24.5 centimeters by 10. So this back pouch here, the pouch that is sitting on the inside is, I have a feeling this is pretty much the same size. So this is the pouch and the back pocket. So this one's just a little bit wider and this goes on the inside. I feel like when I use this, I would probably put in like keys, things that I would frequently reach for that might get lost in the giant vat that is the rest of the bag. The bag itself is, it should measure about, yep, 31 across, and it is 23 across this length, and then we are looking at about 11 deep. It's about 11 centimeters deep here. There we go, and you have the strap as well. If I was to wear the strap, it comes, so this is where kind of my waist sits, and this is my hips. So it's sitting just at my hips, which again for me is actually a good length. I was actually a little bit worried. I thought it was going to sit way too long on me, just because I feel like I'm very, well, I am short. That's just a fact. Now on to the information. This is a Textiles book in about 1,000,001 languages. I can see Russian, I can see Chinese, I think there's French, Spanish, it's Russian, Arabic. Got all the languages, so I'll probably read that later at some point. I'm going to take a look at this receipt. They've obviously like covered the details of whoever purchased it, which is fair. This bag, as per the listing, was purchased in 2023. It was purchased back in September, and at the time it was $4,385. I very much feel like this is a bag that hasn't been used at all. And then in this pouch we have the gorgeous padlock and keys. Now this is very much a working, functioning padlock. I'm going to take the plastic off of it. There we go. She's so shiny. I will also say it did take me by surprise that I actually like the palladium hardware on this. That being said, there's probably not a whole heap of hardware, but everybody will use these locks kind of differently, but the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to padlock onto the back of this, because I'm realistically never going to use the padlock to actually lock the front of the bag, because that just seems unpractical. But I'm going to lock it onto the back because I think it looks really cute. There we go. So we've got the palladium padlock on the back, and then I'm going to hang this off the front handle. Now I am considering possibly getting a charm, but I feel like I want to see them in store first. So there's the keys. I don't know how I feel about that actually. I might put it back into that zip pouch in there. Like obviously I want to keep it handy. I mean, I don't think I'm going to need to unlock it, but I want to keep the keys with the bag at all times. But I don't know, maybe I don't like the look of that. She's going to go into this pouch. So then at least I can't lose it, but I definitely still have it. Yeah, I feel like I like this better. Even if it's like the open look, I don't really mind if it's not closed. Like it's just easier for convenience. But you know what, I'm gonna look at getting a bag insert, because this bag is made of canvas and leather, and now that I'm holding her, she doesn't seem to be the best at like retaining shape. So I'm planning on using her just as like a normal running errands type of bag. So I don't think she's going to be carrying a lot of weight. Well, not like laptop amount of weight, but I definitely think I will be putting like notebooks and like pencil cases and like a little makeup bag and things in her. So I want her to hold at least some of the structure, because she is very malleable, if you guys haven't worked that out. But she is a gorgeous bag, and I actually, you know what, I love this pop of color. I feel like I'm gonna have so much fun with this bag, and I can't wait to style her with admittedly a majority neutral wardrobe. I do have a couple like yellow pieces, and I'm thinking if maybe we do a yellow on yellow. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think yellow was a really bold choice, or as Hermes have named this color citron? But I love it. She's giving lemons. I hope you guys enjoyed that unboxing. Let me know your thoughts down below. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. Bye!